20s. Now for your Wednesday, look for some sunshine with a breeze out of the north, though. Light cold, highs up around 40 with more mainly dry and cold weather expected through Friday. Celebrate the new year with Dixieland Fireworks, locally owned with the largest selection around. A Black Hat dealer with the lowest prices in Dixie. Dixieland Fireworks, just off I-75 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Storm Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
Nooga Radio, digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio. It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nooga Radio, 92.7 Sports. Now.
Good evening to you, Chattanooga and Tennessee Valley. Hope you're having a great day so far. And as we head into the evening hours, after watching some interesting football games over the weekend, namely yesterday, the Super Bowl has been set. And with that, Philadelphia and New England will be battling it out again. Interesting to see those same two teams from just a few years ago make it back to the Super Bowl. And, you know, I was really excited with that first game yesterday until Tom Brady and the Patriots made their come back like they did, which they've done for a couple weeks. They kind of just do it haphazardly. And then they all of a sudden, if we want to win this game, we better start playing, kind of an attitude. Basically, that's what they did and what they've been doing. But the Patriots, they're making their way back. Bob Kraft has another AFC title under his belt. Tom Brady, Bill Belichick, still smelling like you know what, but, stinking it up to high heaven, to say the least. But they're back in the Super Bowl. They won it fair and square. They ended up beating Jacksonville 24-20. I was really excited. Jaguars were leading 20-10. They were leading majority of the game. And I thought, this is going to be great. Jacksonville will be in there. I didn't care whether Philadelphia or Minnesota won. I have a little bit more of a leaning toward Philadelphia because of being in Pennsylvania, but that still didn't stop me from being a Cowboys fan up there. But Cowboys and Eagles are both in the NFC East. So, and I've got a couple kids that really follow the Eagles more than any other team. So, and I've got a lot of friends that are Eagles fans. And I actually ran into somebody yesterday. I had to run out to the convenience store, and I see a guy with a Randy Moss number 84 Vikings jersey on. It's like, well, there's no question who you're rooting for in the game. He says, oh, yeah. He says, and I hope it's against the Patriots where we can really kick their butt. It's like, yeah, you and me and every other team in the NFL as well. But it will be Philadelphia and New England. The Battle of the Northeast in Minneapolis, Minnesota will be coming down here in 2 weeks. And, of course, it'll be a star-studded extravaganza up at Minneapolis. And I really wish Philadelphia the best success possible in that game. Now, the Pro Bowl is going to be next weekend. It's on ESPN, ABC, and the way it sounds, probably going to be on ABC. They've got to fill some programming holes. But, the Super Bowl will be on NBC, and it probably will be Al Michaels' last Super Bowl, more than likely. There's been speculation that he may be hanging the headphones up, after his current deal is done with NBC. And that's unfortunate. I mean, Al Michaels has been doing sports for a long time, and we knew Al from way back in the day with ABC. And then he went over to NBC when they got the Sunday Night Football package. And Chris Collinsworth stepped in there after John Madden hung it up. And you kind of miss the days of seeing John Madden, from being a part of the broadcast and stuff. But, it's just one of those things, transitions over time. I just heard today that Don Imus is hanging the headphones up, being forced to hang them up, as far as being syndicated and being on radio station up in New York City after all of, 40, 50 years being on the air. Yeah. So, it's sometimes you should hang the headphones up before you get forced to. And I'm 77 years old and pretty much a little bit past, name recognition status. If you're probably 25 years old or younger, who's Don Imus? I'm 51, and it's like, okay, I know who Don Imus is. Somebody that may be in their early mid 30s, probably iffy if you're going to know who Don Imus is. But it's just one of those things, and Al has been contemplating it, and that's partly the reason why Mike Tirico left ESPN and went over to NBC, the heir apparent. And so, that probably is a contributing factor. But Al has been a very quality broadcaster and stuff. So I'm sure that him and Chris will have an enjoyable time calling the action here in 2 weeks. So best of luck to the Patriots and to the Eagles with Super Bowl 52 from Minneapolis. And I'm sure between myself and Keon Rose with the Clutch, we'll be talking about the NFL, but there was no really outstanding things that were significant from either game. I was very shocked and surprised that Minnesota just really didn't show up. I mean, I was really expecting a big, hard battle between the Eagles and the Vikings. Out of those two teams, I thought it would be a very close contest, but 38-7 is not close, to say the least. We want to open the phone lines up, give you an opportunity to call in and chime in and talk about the NFL or with anything sports related at 423-800-8949. 423-800-8949. Now we're going to get started here talking about college sports. The Lady Vols of UT, they took it tough. The number 6th ranked Lady Vols. They're now 16-3 overall, 4-2 in the SEC. They lost to number 3 Mississippi State over the weekend by a score of 71-52. I mean, it wasn't just a narrow victory, and it wasn't a trouncing either, but they got outplayed, and the Mississippi State Bulldogs are 20-0 overall, 6-0 in the Southeast Conference. So it was a tough week, and it got even worse Sunday afternoon in front of the home crowd at Thompson Bowling Arena. 13,436 fans and a national TV audience watching as the Lady Vols were hoping to get a little redemption after blowing a big lead, losing at 5th-ranked Notre Dame on Thursday, but Mississippi State had other ideas in that contest. So it was a tough couple of days for the Lady Vols, to say the least. And let's see here. Tennessee will be at home on Thursday to face Ole Miss in its next game. And then Mississippi State will host Florida on Thursday. But pretty good crowd. And even though it was on national TV, still conceived notions of Tennessee maybe upsetting Mississippi State got thrown out with the dishwater on that one. So, talking about interesting ball game And I didn't get to see this in person, but from reading the story details from the sports information department at Covenant College, it's like you wished you would have been there. All right. James Mitchell hit 7 3-pointers. 3 Covenant men's basketball players scored 20 or more points. The Scots defeated unbeaten Pfeiffer 105-101 Saturday afternoon inside the Barnes Physical Education Center. The win snaps a 3-game losing streak for Covenant, who is now 8-7 overall. Pfeiffer drops to 11-1. Now, Pfeiffer, they're in the midst of reclassifying as a Division III, NCAA Division III member, and the USA South. They fall for the first time this year after defeating opponents by an average of 40 points coming into Saturday's game. It also snapped a 24-game regular season winning streak for Pfeiffer. The game does not count toward conference standings. Covenant limited the visiting Falcons to a season low of 101 points. A season low. Wow. Okay. Pfeiffer entered today scoring 116.9 points per game and led the USA South in nearly every offensive category. It was the third time this season that the Scots have eclipsed 100 points in a game. Wow. So, with that, Covenant will travel to LaGrange for a USA South matchup on Friday, January 26th. Tip-off set for 7:30 p.m. So, thanks to Andrew over at the college there in Lookout Mountain, Georgia, for giving us that information on that wild and crazy contest, 105-101. And, Pfeiffer is used to scoring almost 117 points a game, averaging out of 12 games. That's wild, to say the least. All right. So we had that little bit to talk to you about while we're still talking college sports. I want to tell you that the University of Tennessee Chattanooga wrestling team used 4 first period pins to roll over the Citadel 38-7 in Southern Conference action in Charleston, South Carolina. The Mocs evened their overall record to 6-6 and moved to 4-0 in SoCon competition. Junior Alonzo Allen set the tone early with a first period tech fall over Williams Jacobs. Scored 2 takedowns and 12 back points to bounce back from a loss on Friday against Southern Illinois Edwardsville. Junior Chris Debian wrapped up a strong weekend with his second first period pin at 1:33, putting Nicholas Long on his back just 57 seconds into the match. Senior Michael Pingratz won the closest match of the day, taking a 2-1 decision over Douglas Gudenberg at 141. The Citadel followed with one of its 2 wins at 149. Junior Dylan Berzani picked up a 7-2 decision at 157, stretching the Mocs lead in the team race to 17-3. UTC rolled out 3 straight falls in the opening frame in the next 3 bouts to clinch the win. Senior Scotty Boykin defeated Sawyer Root at 197 for his team-leading 21st victory. The Citadel ended the duel with a win at heavyweight. That was career win number 99 for head coach Heath Esslinger. It was 99-60 overall. In 9 seasons with the Mocs, he is an astonishing 51-4 in league duels. Up next for the Mocs is a big showdown against Appalachian State. Coming up Sunday, February 4th, UTC hosts the Mountaineers at 2 o'clock Eastern Time in McClellan Gym. So it was a good day for the Mocs wrestling program, even though on the road at Charleston. And this would have been yesterday. All right. While we're talking UTC, let's switch over to the hardwood again. University of Tennessee Chattanooga fell 58-57 at Furman Saturday afternoon in a game that came down to the wire. The Mocs fall to 12-7 on the year, 3-2 in Southern Conference women's basketball action. Paladins moved to 12-8 overall and 3-2 in league play. So the Mocs are on pace with Furman. Senior Kiana Gilbert and sophomore Lakeland Bolden combined for 40 of the Mocs' 57 points, with each scoring a game-high 20 points. Gilbert added 10 rebounds for her first double-double of the year. She was 9 of 16 in the game and grabbed 4 offensive boards. Bolden was 5 of 12 from long range. Senior Ariana Gilbert chipped in 8 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals in the effort, with junior Molly Melton tallying 4 assists and a pair of steals. Mocs got out to an early lead, getting up 18-12 at the end of the first quarter. Furman, however, bounced back, carried a 32-29 advantage into halftime. Chattanooga responded in the third quarter with a 13-5 run to start the period, building a 42-37 lead with a little over 5 minutes to go in that frame. That lead dwindled to just 2 points, 48-46 by the end of the period, and Furman would retake the lead at the start of the fourth quarter. Final period saw the lead change 3 times and also had 4 ties. Jay-Z Davidson hit a 3-pointer at the 8:13 mark of the fourth period to put the Paladins up 49-48, and Anisha Jackson connected on the second of 2 free throws to make it a 2-point Furman lead. Gilbert tied to game 50 all with 5:54 to play on a jumper in the lane. Furman retook the lead on a free throw by Selena Taborn, with making the score 51-50 with just under 4 minutes to go on the clock. And it just kept being a nail biter the rest of the way. Mocs return home to host Sanford on Thursday evening at the Roundhouse. Game is set to tip off at 6:30. Tickets are available online at GoMocs.com or at the McKenzie Arena box office. So the Mocs staying on pace with some of the top teams in the Southern Conference here in this 2017-18 season. 423-800-8949 is the number to call. 423-800-8949 if you want to talk sports. We've got a lot of sports to talk about tonight. Want to give you a look at the forecast. Clouds early, then it'll be clearing out. We are looking at getting down to 38 for a low tonight, so it won't be too bad. Then tomorrow will be mostly sunny skies, and we should have sunshine through Thursday, and then Friday might see a few clouds pop up, and then Saturday and Sunday looking at showers or just pure out rain on Sunday. So temperatures are going to stay up there in the moderate range over the next several days, so not a bad thing. So enjoy this little brief warming trend that we have coming through the area. And also don't forget to join Nooga Radio every weekday morning with Chattanooga's Morning News with Russ and Val. They will get you up to date with everything that's going on, the latest traffic conditions. Of course, Patrick Corn, News 12 Now, weather forecast, and of course, sports updates with me throughout the day as well here on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM HD4, and of course at NoogaRadio.com. And after Russ and Val, then you got Mike Gallagher from 9 to noon, and then it's the News Power Hour from noon to 1. 1 hour of local news as you need to know. We'll bring it to you. And, of course, every hour we've got CBS World and National News. Then from 1 to 3, Bloomberg Policy, Power, Politics, and Law comes your way from 1 to 3, and then Sean Hannity every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6, and then you get back to me. And then the Clutch with Keon from 7 to 8. Now, what you're hearing now, we may be in the last stages of hearing Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. We may be moving to a different time slot because something that's in the works that we'll tell you about more as we get a little bit closer. We'll give you a heads up on it. But something real exciting coming to Nooga Radio. So not that you're going to lose us. We're just going to shift back an hour, and then we'll shift Keon back even further. So we'll tell you more about that. We're not going away. We still got sports coming your way here on Nooga Radio. All right. 6:27 here on this Monday night, day after the AFC and NFC championships were determined, Philadelphia and New England. It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts of who you think would be the better team to win the Super Bowl coming up in early February. I'm definitely rooting for the Philadelphia Eagles, not only because they're from Pennsylvania, but I will root for anybody, even the Cleveland Browns, to beat the New England Patriots or the Chattanooga Eagles over the New England Patriots. Yes, we're the new home of Chattanooga Eagles football. Coming your way here, February 24th will be our first game broadcast from Chattanooga Central High School. And that will be against the Dalton Danger. And we've got a lot of interesting things that will be coming your way here on the station, with a little bit more sports offering. And then, of course, on Thursday nights, we're going to be talking with Kathy Coulter and the great staff at Boyd Speedway, giving you an auto racing roundup here on Sports Talk with Sam Jordan. Hey, we got more coming up after the break, so stick around. It's Sports Talk with Sam Jordan here on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM, 95.3 FM, HD4, and NoogaRadio.com. Back with more in a moment.
Chattanooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4. 92.7 FM's news now.
2 more gone from the Bradley County Sheriff's Office. The Director of Administration, Arnold Botts, and the Chief Deputy, Brian Smith, have resigned from the Bradley County Sheriff's Office, according to WRCB, but not to run against Sheriff Eric Watson, unlike Captain Steve Lawson, who announced plans to run. The two apparently left on good terms. Great news in Copper Hill. The boil water advisory has been lifted. The boil water advisory had been in effect since the 6th, when the water main break in Georgia knocked out the clean water supply for the small Tennessee town, making the new year not so happy. Officials with the town say they regret this has happened so many times. 3 years after the deadly crash, the Benjamin Brewer trial is set to begin. Back in June of 2015, Brewer was accused of ramming his semi into stopped traffic on I-75, killing 6. Val St. John, Nooga Radio News Talk 92.7 News now.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM.
The cash made my arse bounce back.
Cash, and more cash at Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. Rick's got the gold. Don't miss out. Tired of bank rates as low as 1%?
What? Pewee, they stink.
Then you need to go to Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. That's right. Rick guarantees profit.
The world is not coming to an end.
Whoa, not that kind of profit. Profit. It's not a dirty word. Get your Gold American Eagle certified by the federal government. Own an ounce or 100 ounces. Certified. Rick Davis Gold and Diamonds. A way to earn money on your gold. Call Rick. 499-9162. 499-9162. 5301 Brainerd Road. Rick Davis, Chattanooga. Cash, and more. No, gold, and more gold.
The cash made my arse bounce back.
Oh, man, rush. I've got to get stuff for the party. Where can I go that's going to give me a wide selection of beer, wines, and spirits? Oh, I got it. I'll go to Harry's Wine and Spirits, Signal Mountain. Maybe East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd. I could go to Riley's Wines and Spirits in Hickson. Wow, look at the huge selection in here. Look at these great prices. Amazing. Oh, yeah, I'm going to find something for my lady, too. I'm going to make this party a success.
Make your party a success when you stop in at Harry's Wine and Spirits in Signal Mountain, East Brainerd Wine and Spirits in East Brainerd, and Riley's Wine and Spirits in Hickson.
An automated nuclear missile defense system has suddenly entered into launch mode, and you are the only one who can stop it.
Escape Experience Chattanooga.
Your team has just been infected with a deadly virus. Your only hope? There, in an abandoned farmhouse.
Escape Experience Chattanooga.
Handcuffed in a maximum security prison, you have an hour to flee.
Escape Experience Chattanooga.
These escape scenarios and more at Chattanooga's best escape room game and team building platform. Call now. Slots are limited. Register online at escapeexperience.com/Chattanooga. Escape Experience Chattanooga.
Traffic, news, and information. Nooga Radio. Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM.
Expect fair to partly cloudy skies to continue through your nighttime. Cold overnight, lows mid and upper 20s. Now for your Wednesday, look for some sunshine with a breeze out of the north, though. Light cold, highs up around 40 with more mainly dry and cold weather expected through Friday. Celebrate the new year with Dixieland Fireworks, locally owned with the largest selection around. A Black Hat dealer with the lowest prices in Dixie. Dixieland Fireworks, just off I-75 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Sworn Team 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Hoare.
Nooga Radio, Digital FM 95.3 HD4 and 92.7 FM knows your opinion is important. So call 800-8949. Agree or disagree? Call 423-800-8949. 800-8949. Nooga Radio, 92.7 FM and 95.3 HD4. News Talk Nooga Radio.
It's the moment you've been waiting for. Sam Jordan's Nooga Radio, 92.7 Sports. Now.
All right, we're back with you. Yes, we are here. It is Sports Talk with Sam Jordan, and just having a friendly conversation with my colleague out in the office area, what they call the yellow room. It's not necessarily a green room, it's a yellow room. A little bit of sports, of the disbelief that I had with the Jaguars. They can't blame themselves. It's just the Patriots just fought back. I mean, the cardiac kids, I guess you could say, or cardiac old men that just found another way of pulling it out of their pants, literally. But, it wasn't officiating that went the way of the Patriots. It just, New England fought back, and they wanted it more. But the Vikings, I still don't understand what happened to the Vikings. They just didn't show up. But like I was saying to Keon, I was thinking 3 to 7 point differential between who would win and who would lose. And Vikings, it's like they barely got 7 for themselves, barely, losing to the Eagles 38-7. Now, been a lot of coaching hires here over the last couple of days. The Arizona Cardinals named Carolina Panthers defensive coordinator Steve Wilks as their next head coach. Earlier today, they announced that 4-year contract with a team option for a 5th year, and took them 3 weeks to find a replacement for Bruce Arians, who retired on January 1st. Now, here's something that I guess you could say would be about average. Wilks is 48 years old. He's been an NFL assistant for 11 going on 12 years and spent the last 6 seasons with the Panthers. In 2017, he was their defensive coordinator after 2 seasons as the assistant head coach and defensive backs coach. So, he's, I guess you could say about average age. He's African-American, and it's good to see a little bit more. And I guess this is where the Rooney Rule kind of helps quite a bit. But, I mean, there are a lot of good African-American coaches that are out there that really deserve a chance. And hopefully this will be the start of things where we will see more and more black coaches being named in high-profile sports, not just the NFL, but in all of the sports. Very outstanding individuals and winning it on merit, not just because there is the Rooney Rule. But Steve Wilks, new head coach for the Arizona Cardinals. Let's just see if Larry Fitzgerald and the rest of the Cardinals that have stuck it out, because Carson Palmer, if I'm not mistaken, has decided to hang it up as the quarterback. If he was still playing back here in the East, he probably should have hung it up a long time ago, but he got a resurgence as quarterback out in Arizona and really did well. All right, the other big hiring was the New York Giants hired Minnesota Vikings offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur as their 18th head coach in Giants history. Shurmur, if you remember, and it wasn't really this long ago either, he was former head coach in Cleveland, one of maybe 20 in the last couple of years. He became available after the Vikings were taken care of in the NFC Championship game last night there in Philadelphia. So he didn't have to go far for the press conference, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on traffic from Philly to New York or to the Meadowlands. And he did not talk to the media much about his future after the game. I mean, he's been rumored for a lot of different jobs, but Shurmur is making his way into the limelight and the spotlight and every other kind of light there at the Meadowlands there in New Jersey. And, of course, in New York City, it's win now or be gone sooner, literally. But Dave Gettleman, the general manager, he's looking to putting together a winning formula like he's done before when he was, with, I believe, Carolina was where his most famous stop was. And it will be interesting to see whether Shurmur can get the job done. I'm holding out a little bit of hope for him, but I guess there were 6 candidates that were considered for the job. And, of course, Patriots offensive coordinator Josh McDaniels, defensive coordinator Matt Patricia, Carolina Panthers defensive coordinator Steve Wilkes, interim Giants coach and defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo, and former Broncos running backs coach Eric Studesville were also interviewed for the job. Now, it's being linked that Josh McDaniels is waiting till after the Super Bowl, and it's expected that the Indianapolis Colts is going to hire McDaniels. McDaniels has got so many choices. Why Indianapolis? And Keon made a good point, because he's a great quarterbacks coach, and this could be the thing that Indianapolis needs in order to get back on track. Now, the Colts have got a good quarterback. They really do. If he can stay healthy. Once you have a serious injury like that, that they've endured, it's kind of hard to come back from an injury like that. And who knows what Indianapolis may end up doing, whether they go out and try to draft a good college quarterback somewhere to have waiting in the wings in Indianapolis in case things don't work out and their hopefully healed quarterback of choice, Andrew Luck, can't do it. Then they've got that backup. But Shurmur was with the Eagles with Andy Reid for a long time as their offensive coordinator. And he was also with the Rams under Spagnuolo, head coach of the Browns for 2 seasons, which I'm surprised he lasted that long. And then he was Chip Kelly's offensive coordinator before landing with the Vikings after Chip got let go for great reasons. Couldn't win. And then basically, he landed with Minnesota and has been with them for, I believe, maybe 2 years, maybe. But Shurmur's been around for a long time, and he's well respected in the NFL. But it'll be interesting to see whether he hires an old buddy of his, who's a former head coach himself, former Oakland Raiders coach Jack Del Rio. He's actually been speculated as being the defensive coordinator for the Giants. And I think that would be a great hire in itself. There's a lot of good coaches that are out there, assistant coaches or former head coaches that would make great coordinators. And so with that, Giants have got some prospective coaches out there that are really going to do well. Now, the big news of the weekend came when the Tennessee Titans hired Mike Vrabel as their new head coach. And it was not unexpected, but, Vrabel, I'm sure, was watching the game Sunday, with his old playing team and the New England Patriots, but got a phone call from Marcus Mariota, according to reports. He was having dinner with his family, and he had to talk to one of the newest important people in his life, in Marcus Mariota, wanting to find out what's the plan. Welcome him, Coach Vrabel, to the team. And I think from what I've read about Mike Vrabel, that he's very aggressive. I mean, as far as he's looking to win, and he's not wasting any time to do it. The one thing that I thought was interesting, Mike Mularkey, the former head coach, got the team to the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Usually when a coach gets a team to the playoffs, they haven't been to the playoffs in a long time, you usually reward the coach for getting into the playoffs, not firing them. But, from what I've read about Coach Vrabel, I don't think that this is going to be a short-lived thing. The philosophy, the development plans that Coach Vrabel has talked about to the media already, I think has got a lot of people up in Nashville very excited. And, other media colleagues of ours, have said that they expect a lot of good things immediately coming from Nashville with the Titans. It's not just a momentary thing either. So let's see if he brings some of that Patriot knowledge that he got over, I think it was 14 years that he spent with the Patriots. Yeah, 14 years as an NFL linebacker and defensive-minded head coach. Now, here's the thing. If he can find some offensive-minded personnel that he can really trust to put the total package together, the Titans could be a very promising team and could see as a consistent playoff team, in the future. So it will be interesting. Tennessee football, not just the Titans, but I'm talking Tennessee Vols football. We've got two bright, prospective coaches that are coming into teams that have been successful in the past, no matter what the legacy was, whether they were the old Houston Oilers or now the Tennessee Titans, and then with the Tennessee Vols, with new head coaches at the helm, and, with the prospects of turning both of those programs around, is going to be huge. And it just seems like the excitement is really there up in the northern part of the state, in Nashville and Knoxville both, for Tennessee football to really get back on track and, try to bring that winning formula back to Tennessee and give Tennesseans and other surrounding areas, around those two individual programs, being back on that top of the list, top of the heap. You'd rather be on top of the heap than in the heap, wouldn't you? So let's see what Coach Mike Vrabel and Jeremy Pruitt can do for these two famed Tennessee programs. Were you surprised with Case Keenum and his performance, or maybe the lack of performance yesterday? I was. I didn't think things were looking good, especially after the first half, whether Minnesota could pull things a little bit closer, but it was almost a bore. And I actually went to bed early. Wasn't feeling great all weekend. The one thing that happens to me annually, usually in December, sometimes in January, and this time it hits me in January, I get like a cold in my throat, and it was like really deep type of voice. But it hit me hard, and then it was like I was having trouble breathing and wheezing over the weekend, so I didn't really do a whole lot. And I just really wasn't in the mood to watch a lot of the two games. In fact, I just caught the very tail end of the Patriots and Jaguars game. It really got exciting there in the last couple minutes, as New England was coming back and beating Jacksonville 24-20 there right at the end of the game. But, it just, when you don't feel good, you don't want to do a lot of things. But it was interesting for the first quarter and a half of the NFC Championship game. And it was like, all right, they've already jumped out. I don't really see after the that I caught of Keenum. It's like, this is not going to be good, and turned it out be 38-7. So it did not end well, but it's kind of interesting to see all these announcements that are coming out. Well, usually they kind of wait until after the Super Bowl for teams, even if they're not in the playoffs anymore, to wait as sort of like respect until the Super Bowl is over with before, something is announced. But no, they jumped right in there and made their announcements, trying to keep their team in that spotlight and thinking, well, okay, what can we do? To make things interesting for our team, so that when we come back and we make the playoffs and everything, it will be a good thing. All right, let's see here. Got news. Danica Patrick, she will be driving in the Daytona 500 for Premium Motorsports. She will be driving. Well, she's got Tony Uri Jr. as her crew chief for her number 15, or no, the number 7 car. Will use that team's charter. That was number 15 car last year to have a guaranteed spot in the field coming up February 18th. So she will be driving the number 7 car in the Daytona 500. That should be her last race. At least that's what they're saying. And she will be having GoDaddy sponsoring her in that number 7 Chevrolet, which that's where she made her mark as a GoDaddy spokesperson. And GoDaddy sponsored her for a number of years before going over to Stewart-Haas Racing. So they are doing... She is doing one more race, evidently. The Daytona 500 and the Indianapolis 500. And GoDaddy is going to be her sponsor for those final two races of her career. She's only 35 years old, and she is the highest finish for a woman, owns the highest finish for a woman in both events, an 8th at Daytona 500 in 2013, and a 3rd at the Indianapolis 500 in 2009. So she's doing the open wheel with Indy, and of course the stock car race in NASCAR. So good to see. She had a relationship with one of the other drivers, which is kind of rare. Not only because there's not many female drivers out there, but generally you just don't hear of things like that. So, but it is good to see that she is getting an old sponsor back with her for those final 2 rides of her racing career. And let's see, Dale Jr. has announced that he would be highly interested in owning a piece of the Carolina Panthers. Jerry Richardson. He's just waiting for them all to line up. And that just, it cracks me up. I mean, Yeah, I mean, guys, I like football, I like basketball, baseball, and NASCAR, and I like dirt track racing and that sort of thing. But it's like, if I was an athlete, I don't think I would actually go and become an owner in a different sport altogether. But then again, you look at Brad Daugherty. He made his mark in basketball, more so in the college scene than he did anywhere else. He played for UNC and was an outstanding athlete in college, and he played for many years in the NBA. But it's like, and then he got into owning a racing team, and he actually hasn't done that bad. I mean, he's one of the mid-level owners and stuff. I mean, as far as when you got RCR and Hendrick Motorsports, and you got Roush Fenway and Stuart Haas and those, at least he's got a good alliance with Stuart Haas, or at least he had. And he's also worked with Richard Petty Motorsports in an associate role as far as with collaborating and stuff and using different engines or transmission systems and that sort of thing for his racing team. But I mean, that's a rarity. But Dale Jr. thinking, I like football. I don't want to just sit here and watch it. I want to own it. I'm sure he's got the money to do it as well. Hey, you know what? My good buddy Keon Rose is coming up next. He has got the clutch with Keon Rose coming your way. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night for more Sports Talk with Sam Jordan right here on Nooga Radio 92.7 FM. And, of course, at 95.3 FM HD4. Talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye.
Chattanooga Morning News with Russ and Val. Weekdays from 6 to 9 a.m. on Nooga